Make some noise now. Start clapping now for the one, the only. Come on, guys. Mr. Ryan D. Let him hear it. Come on, let him hear it.
Buddy, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a podcast. But here we are. I hit the mics with Ryan D, with my two good buddies, Steve and Javi.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
How are ya?
Oh shit. There we go. What's up, guys? So I thought we were supposed to do your podcast today.
We were.
But Javi's a drunken piece of shit.
Which is true. I'm a degenerate alcoholic. It's fair.
No, I mean, no, you're just a piece of shit. Who doesn't return text messages when it's about business?
I did reply to your text eventually.
8 hours
all
later.
very true.
It wasn't 8 hours. It wasn't 8 hours. It was a solid hour.
I text you at 2:44, like, yo, what time we doing this? We're going to have everything set up. And then you text me back at 9.
Yeah, me too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's true.
But we're here.
So anyway,
yeah, we made it though. That's the important thing.
What's up, guys? This is a late night Friday night party episode.
It is.
So how we doing? So you guys are trying to start a podcast. What is the premise of this?
Well, originally, our podcast was going to be called The Minority Report, but it's taken by somebody else.
Taken by Tom Cruise.
So fuck them.
Yeah. So we don't have a name for it yet. We will get that. But the whole point of our podcast is me and Javi like talking to people. We like meeting interesting people. And so the first iteration of the name Minority Report, obviously, because you can see we're both minorities.
But what's funny about it is like we're both like the widest variations of our race. Like you're the whitest black man I ever met.
I mean, that's not true. But I
don't know. You're a pretty whitewashed black guy.
I'm not whitewashed. I'm just suburban.
You're Captain America.
But you ain't even gonna wash your mouth. See,
I'm so glad you have that sound bite. That was fucking a great story.
That was from the last time. But yeah, and so what we really wanted to do, like Double Entendre, Minority Report, we wanted to talk to kind of like small independent people who are doing their own thing, trying to make it. Be that in beer, be that in entertainment, art, business, anything. Like we want to talk to those people and like give them a voice, and hopefully talk to some interesting people and like get some cool stories out of it.
So you guys are stealing my idea, but you're just a pair.
But we're just cooler.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We have a wider audience because he's a black guy. I have a Mexican guy. We have like a wider audience.
You got the best of both worlds.
And
Exactly.
I will say, when you first were talking about doing this, I'm like, hey, we should do it together, and then you're like, yeah, and then it never happened.
Well, I will say that I
yeah. Come on, Ryan. We're waiting for
But
it.
you know what it is like I didn't have like I don't have a set schedule to do it, so it's like really hard for me to I don't want other people to kind of rely on my silly schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's kind of just like whenever I can. Obviously, fucking I haven't done one in like 2 months. I just paid the bill so I could fucking put one up. You know?
And now it's Friday night at 11:43, and we're getting it done.
Is it already that late?
Yeah,
I know. Seriously, it's mostly because of my drunk ass that we're doing this late.
It's absolutely because of you.
Yeah.
And I regret nothing, sir.
Yeah.
By the way, how are you enjoying that power plant?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you trying to make it? Are you
No.
trying to take,
I'm making a commercial right now.
fucking like
El Segundo makes one of the best IPAs.
I thought you were like, you're welcome for me being here and bringing you this
no,
beer.
come on. Who cares about me? Come on.
Are you trying to do it? El Segundo's not paying us. You don't have to.
I know. But I'm just saying the triple IPA is really good.
What?
Both of you.
Wearing a Pacific Plate T-shirt, you fucking traitor.
Oh man.
Fucking retard, man!
I'm very proud of working there, but I'm also like happy to say that El Segundo makes a really good triple.
I mean, they do. It's pretty delicious.
Yeah, it is. I love the triple. The what is it, the power plant?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So what the fuck were you doing? You were there for what? Like 3 hours?
About. Give or
Jesus,
take.
you fucking drunk.
Yeah. That's why we're friends.
And that's why we couldn't get a hold of you, because you were at a brewery just getting drunk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much why I didn't respond to you guys at first.
Which is annoying.
To be fair,
is no, shut up. I called you at 8:30, like, yo, what's going on? Like, what are you doing tonight? You're like, oh, we're doing the podcast. I'm like, no, we're not. Like, I haven't heard from you.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, let me call Ryan, and then we'll figure it out. I'm like, all right, call Ryan. That was at 8:30. Then at 9:20, I text you like, yo, like, what's the word? And you're like, oh, I just saw this right now. It's like, yeah.
But I also text Ryan right away.
No, you didn't.
I mean, not
You
right
didn't
away.
right away.
Because I called him
not
like after
right
I text you.
but I did text him
Fucking
eventually.
liar.
Like 40 minutes later,
Eventually,
I
I
called
did
Ryan,
text him.
and he's
But
like,
hey,
no,
you know what?
I haven't heard
you
from
know what?
Javi.
We're all here, and that's the important
This is
thing.
actually an intervention, dude.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are telling me like maybe you should stop drinking.
Or maybe you should pay
Or
attention
maybe you should
to
just
your
pay
phone.
attention.
Maybe.
This was Javi.
Here you go, honey. That's about all the recycling I can handle today.
And that's why I'm single, right there.
Yeah. It's 100%. Anyway, what's up, guys? What do you want to talk about today? I wanted to make it an open forum for you two to make it your show as well as mine, so we can swap this podcast and you guys can have this one as an episode of yours.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that'll work.
All right, fuck my idea then.
No, I think I get what you're trying to do. But the thing is, like, if we were doing ours right now, I'd be talking to you about your new room and, you know, the things you're doing, like where you got started. Like,
Well, then let's talk about that.
Yeah. Go
What's
ahead.
wrong with that?
I mean,
Tell us your story then.
Dude, I
on
never,
your own podcast.
I never get interviewed.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, you text me this week, and you sent me some posters. Like, you got a new room at the Route 66.
Yeah.
How'd you come about that?
We, Vicky and I fucking just wandered into that place, and then we were like, this place looks pretty dope. And then I was like, this would be a perfect place for a comedy show.
Did you wander or did you stumble in there? Like, how drunk were you when you went in there?
We just looked up a place to get a burger and a beer. And we were like right there, and we were like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's in Duarte. I mean, it's a decent bar, nice little dive bar.
Decent bar and grill, man. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
the food was good. They have a full bar. Not very much of a beer selection, but it's like a Roadhouse Tavern. So it's like,
yeah, and they got a little stage up there.
they got a great stage.
And it's like a lot of bikers go there.
Really?
Nights
Well,
out
it looks
down
like
there.
it looks like a biker bar or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but when I I showed and I asked the lady there. It's like, you know, definitely it's very much like the Silver Dollar. Like kind of you could tell like they're all close friends or family owned or whatever.
Did they take card though?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
And they have liquor.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So they're
Silver
willing
Dollar.
to change. Well, that's the
Fucking silver dollar.
That's
It's my
the
only
difference.
gripe. It's my only
look.
gripe.
Look, I mean, I love that place too.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot. There's a lot that I would like to do with it that I
just can't.
just can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so you're still running the show at the Dollar, which
Yeah.
your people should know if you listen to this. Comedy at the Dollar every first Tuesday of the
First
month.
Tuesday of the month. Oh yeah. So anyway, so when I was there, Vicky and I we had lunch and then a couple beers. And we talked to the lady behind the bar. She gave me the owner's info. I called, and then she told me to call back like the next day.
Yeah.
And then I did, and then I ended up just being in the same area. So I ended up just dropping in and then showing up and like talking to her about it. And so she's like totally into the idea. She's like, but she was like, oh, we had comedy night. The thing is, like, I know how to put on a good comedy show.
Yeah.
And there's so many of these bars that have been like fucked over by other people, you know. So like, because here's how you do a bad show.
Yeah,
You-
can you
you-
elaborate? Like,
here's how you do a bad
How do you
show.
run a good show?
You ask the bar for money so that you could book a headliner. You book a headliner that no one fucking knows, and then you pocket the money.
Sure.
And then no one shows up, but they're paying out of pocket and they're losing money. That's how you book a bad show. And so that's how you do a bad show. Or and you book only your friends, and you don't actually try and branch out and like.
Yeah.
You know, really reach out to people and
Yeah, because that's what I like when you do at the Dollar every month. I mean, every month it's a completely new lineup, new people I haven't seen before. You know, your regulars, your friends, are sprinkling like Tony.
Yeah.
and things.
I mean, every time I start a new room, it's always like pretty much the same people because like they're my friends that I know kill it. You know.
Yeah. But that's your beginning. Yeah, you're bringing
Yeah.
them on. But I'm saying, like at the Dollar, like every month it's someone different. Every month you have a solid lineup of solid comics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So I
Well,
mean,
it's also because I'm in the scene working, you know. So like,
Yeah.
so it's not like you know. So I'm always meeting new people, and I'm always keeping my eye out for people to come because you know you always want. I know everyone's hungry for stage time, especially if you're new. So it's like, you know, if you give, it's almost like currency too. Like when you're in the comedy scene, it's
Yeah.
like if I give you a spot, then that dude runs a show like at the Improv or
Yeah,
something.
favor
and
for a
then- Yeah,
favor.
exactly. So it's kind of how it works. But there are some people that strictly run shows and like they're not very good comics, and that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But like that's also why I'm trying to stay in the same area, because then I'm like, if I just hone in on this one specific spot that I grew up in, like maybe. Like, then I'll just be known for that area, and then I can still kind of work,
So like a Jeff Garcia, but just not an asshole.
No, because Jeff never actually produced shows.
Okay.
And Jeff's from, like, the Inland Empire or something like that.
Whatever.
But how do you feel about like producing like a comedy show at a brewery as opposed to like an actual like comedy club?
Oh, well, like a bar and a brewery? I mean, it's all different, really. I mean, what do you mean? Like, the big difference is people buy comedy club tickets to go watch a comedy show, That's another thing about running a bar show is the bar that you're partnering up with like has to be on board with everything you're doing too, because they have to help you. I mean, that's why the dollar show works so well is because like they'll kick people out if they're too loud.
Yeah.
And that's, which is rare for like a bar show, right? Because there's a lot of bar shows that people just they force comedy upon other people that are like regular bar patrons.
They're trying to have a good time.
And the management doesn't give a fuck when you're there with a microphone, and then and you're fighting with pool and darts and people getting drunk, and they just stumbled in there on a fucking Tuesday night, and then you're barking dick jokes at them, like they don't want to fucking hear it. So. I mean,
but working in that atmosphere though, because it's so aggressive, and you're playing for an audience who, a lot of times, really don't give a shit that you're there. They're coming to get drunk, and then you're trying to force them to listen to you. I mean, does that make you better, like at a comedy club?
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, the reason why I got better was because I was doing those rowdy bar rooms and stuff. But the thing is, a dollar is it's a really good bar show.
Yeah.
And so is Pacific Plate. We do the brewery too, but I mean, so you're kind of, you have that upper hand, but at any moment it can go wrong, like horribly wrong, So like it's not, there's still that kind of like the danger of like a bar room, because comedy clubs, they're very safe. Even if you're doing bad, like most of the time the audience is gonna.
We're here to go.
Yeah, they're there to have a good time and have fun. So even if your shitty jokes like don't work, I mean, if you're even on stage and if you're not doing well, especially at the Ice House, dude.
Yeah.
Like just quit comedy, like because the Ice House is like dude, it has a reputation, so people show up just to have fun, and like they are the best. They always have the best audiences.
See, I heard the opposite. I always heard like Ice House is like you have to be funny to like do well there.
Everyone does good there. Everyone.
Huh.
Yeah, you have to try and fail there.
Yeah, didn't you tell me like a manager or something you were like trying to send a tape to was just like, well, that's at the Ice House.
Yeah,
and,
so
everybody.
so it's like I didn't even know about this, but apparently like some bookers don't give a fuck if you send them tape from the Ice House, because the Ice House has such a good reputation for having great audiences that like it doesn't prove to them anything.
Yeah,
which is kind of a bummer.
Kind of weird because they're like Joe Rogan, a bunch of those guys like test their material out at the Ice House all the time.
Well, mainly the Comedy Store.
Yeah, and I feel like you can test. Yeah, you can test your.
Well, that was see Joe Rogan do like, I'm doing a set. At the
but these
Ice
are
House
named.
Wednesday.
These are named guys. Like they're headliners. Like people like going to see Joe Rogan, and so they know. They listen to him on his podcast every week. They know what it's about.
Yeah.
Like he talks openly about it. So people, I think, like with that, especially with that crowd, like they're prepared. They know what they're in for.
Yeah.
When you have, no offense, like a nobody like trying to make it. Right. They don't know him. They don't know what he's doing. They don't know if he's warming up. Like he's brand new to them, and so it's just like a whole different vibe. Except I guess at the Ice House.
Yeah. But like I said, the Ice House kind of has. Hey. We can hear everything you're doing. So the Ice House, like I said, has a reputation. So like that's why it's like it's just they generate business no matter who's kind of there.
Yeah.
So like that's why it's kind of it's like a fucking alley-oop, because every time, for me, what was hard when I was producing shows there was competing with the main room.
Yeah.
Because if I did a Thursday and Rogan's in the main room, like.
Yeah,
no one's buying tickets off the street to see my show, So sometimes I'd get lucky. I'd get some people, the show was sold out and, it was just kind of like an off night. Somebody that wasn't that famous. People would buy tickets for my show because main room sold out. Well, fuck it. We'll go watch this one.
Yeah.
Has it happened to you when you were doing a show with is there like a I don't know if you're exposing the curtain here, but like, is there like a green room for like comics to hang out? Like, do you hang out with Joe Rogan or at some point like when you're in the back? No.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like an unwritten rule. Like if I'm in stage 2 and like somebody pretty big is in the main room, I'm not allowed in the green room.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, even it's not even an unwritten rule. Like, they won't let me in.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Though,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Except for like, I mean, if somebody's on the show and you know they go, hey, you want to meet so and so or something like that. Like that's how I've hung out with Joey Diaz. Like my friend was opening for, and he was just like, yeah, come to the green room. You know, hung out for a minute, but it's like, but yeah, like. Like Paul Rodriguez is a real stickler. Like he doesn't like anybody in the green room when he's there.
But I feel like, I mean, once you're at that level, like you should have, you know, the ability. You should have that. You know.
Sure, you've earned it.
You know,
you've earned it. Yeah,
you know, I'm here. Like,
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. I mean, I don't think it's a dickhead move. I think it's totally valid. I mean, but like you know, it could come off as you know whatever the fuck, but as a you know, that's rude or pretentious or whatever.
That's just the game,
it's like,
though.
Yeah, really. I mean, and that's the thing with these clubs too. Some of them only have one green room,
right?
So like,
go sit at the
can't
bar.
help it.
You know, like yeah. So I mean, technically, so at the Ice House stage 2, the bar is your green room. Like that's it. You know, it's the same thing with Flappers. Like if they have a Yoo-hoo, they have the Yoo-hoo room, and you hang out outside of it. Like that's it. You know, if somebody's big's headlining the main room, which is kind of rare, they don't pull that many great big comics there.
Yeah.
I mean, but even then, like at Flappers, I've just been able to walk right into the green room and just grab like a bottle of water or whatever, and like no one really gives a shit. You know.
So I mean, but all right. So let's take it back. So you have the Comedy of the Dollar. You're doing this new show at Route 66, and you're still getting stage time in other places. You know, so you're just
trying.
You're trying. So, but you've been hustling. You know, with your stand up now. Like,
yeah.
How do you balance everything? Trying to write new material, trying to get to stage time, trying to work your day job, trying to do all this shit. Like where
I don't. That's I'm not good at it.
Yeah, no, it's having a day.
Why do you think my podcast has been suffering?
Yeah,
it's just something to balance. Like
trying to be creative and have a day job when you're broke.
It's the worst.
It's fucking
the
rough.
Worst. Well, that's why it's the dream to just like if I could do this and stand up and fucking other things. Like,
it'd be fine.
You know, I'd have way more time in the day.
Yeah.
But also, I'd probably fuck right off a lot of those hours too.
Yeah, but I mean, you would still get some writing in. Like that's my issue now.
Yeah.
Like I got my day job, and then I'm trying to go to the gym.
But I'm also not that kind of person that like I know a lot of people that are real disciplined. Like they'll go to Starbucks for like 2 hours and sit there and try and write and shit. And
I can't do that.
I'm not like that. Yeah.
Yo, no, I need to.
It has to like something has to spark in me that like and then I'll sit there and then I'll sit there for like hours. Just boom, boom, boom. But like, and then I'll get 2 good minutes out of like what.
But I mean,
see, but like I'm the opposite. Where like I can go to Starbucks and I can open my laptop and I can write a full blown article, spend hours there, just like fucking dedicating my time to it and just getting it done. But see, it's different.
You're talking about like doing beer reviews and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's different for like writing an article as opposed to like actually writing jokes. Because like I know I've been trying to write a joke once every single day, and even that's like tough.
Yeah. I mean, writing a joke a day is. I mean, it's tough, but it's good practice. That's what. I mean, I haven't done that in a while, but that's what I was doing. I was writing I would just write 2 or 3 like monologue jokes a day, just for just because I'm on my 10-minute break, or like I'm fucking around on Reddit at work.
Well, the bigger thing is now that I run so many rooms that are like and I'm regularly hosting, it's like I can't do the same material every fucking month. So
good, though.
so kind of it really does kick me in the ass to like. I mean, it took a full year for just some bar patron who. Some toothless asshole who was like there all the time. He's loud as fuck and just to yell. You've been saying the same shit for fucking 12 months. And I was like,
you don't have any teeth, sir.
Yeah.
You don't
First
get
of
to
all,
talk
brush your
about
teeth,
me.
motherfucker.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck, he's right. I've been saying the same fucking jokes for like 12 months.
Yeah,
so.
but what I have noticed though is you text me a lot more with just like joke premises.
Yeah,
that's been happening a lot more.
You know what? And you know what's funny is the tag that you gave me the other night. That killed. Like,
which one?
Well, I told Vicky about it. She didn't like it very much, but it was
Having
hilarious.
to wash your mouth.
Oh shit! No.
If I want, the way I forgot what you said, but the way I said it on stage was okay. The whole premise was, it's a common premise about, dangerous things that like white people do. So if I get invited to do something dangerous or whatever, I just think to myself, like, would a black person do this?
Yeah.
And if and if the answer's no, that's just some white people shit that's gonna get me murdered, right? So, and anyway, so that part wasn't very funny to everybody, but when I started saying, I was like, I live with a Latina, like. I'm like that's the most dangerous shit you could do.
Oh yeah, no. When I was like, if I want to like fear death, like
that's what I was thinking.
I'll turn my phone off.
Turn my phone off and show up an hour. Show up
like 30 minutes late. Walk in the door 30 minutes late after I'm supposed to.
She's right here. But you know it's true.
I wasn't talking about you. It was just it popped in my head.
That's what I said. I said it was a generalization. And like, dude, everyone died on that one. I was like, if I really want to thrill, I'll turn my phone off and I'll show up late. I'll show up at home real late.
See, but what I find interesting is there is a solid there is a comparison between Ryan does a lot of stand up, and then what you do, Steve, is you do a lot of these monologue jokes.
Yeah. All right.
So how do you what's your process in terms of do you read the news and go, okay, that's a kind of a funny premise, I can kind of make fun of that?
I don't even read the news. I just go based off of headlines. And if it's a headline, all right, I'll read some headlines and then I'll try to make a joke based off of that. And then if I'm all right, I need to go deeper, then I'll read some of it, just try to real quick, and then I'll try to pull something out of that. But a lot of the times it's just, here's a headline, what's going on, and then all right, where's the funny, and then write a couple, see what works. And then, just kind of move on. Just kind of training.
Yeah. So I've had this story about how I got jumped by 2 Native Americans.
Yeah.
And I've told you guys this story. And but it's so long and so I've been so afraid to do it on stage because it's such a long fucking story. And I'm just like, how do I make it? Because it's it's already a funny premise. Oh, I got jumped by 2 Native Americans in the woods. People are going to be like, what the fuck?
And as a Mexican,
what?
That's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. So I told if you check out my friend Rob Zorf's podcast, it's called what the fuck is it called? It's something God damn it! It's not. It's like a outdoors based podcast.
Okay. Outdoorsy. Really?
Tales from the Outside. That's what it's called.
Okay.
And so I did a whole 2-hour episode of just that story alone. So I did.
Oh wow! Going deep into it.
Went deep into it. I prefaced it all. Did the whole thing. And but anyway, so finally I was hanging out with some friends of mine the other night at Phantom Ales, and finally I was telling them about the that story and shit. And they'd heard the story before, but they were like, "Why don't you tell it on stage?" I'm like, "Cause I don't know. It's just there's so much fat that I can't really figure out." And so they literally just we were just sitting there riffing, and it was tags after tags after tags and shit. And I started writing notes down because dude, we were laughing so hard. So I'm like, I think I might have enough to at least start trying to do it on stage.
Yeah. So did you do it the other night?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just was talking about how I want to try and talk about it, but it's it's not that it's not interesting. It's just it's not when you. The difference between telling a story among friends and then doing it on stage is you got to keep people invested. So
you need jokes.
So you have to have some building. It's just like reading a story. You gotta have to have some building action. You have to have some fucking hits on the way up, and then one kind of big crescendo.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really have to every fucking time, but if you're not,
you can't just sit up there and tell a long story.
If you're not getting a punch every fucking 30 seconds, 60 seconds or so, exactly.
Yeah, you'll lose them.
Yeah, so that's a challenge. Storytelling is I feel way harder than just writing jokes.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, if you think of the biggest comics that people love the most, one of their things, Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
People love Eddie Murphy. What do you do best? Fucking storytelling. Richard Pryor, same thing.
I just heard some shit the other day. Can you believe he was only 6 years into stand-up when he came out with fucking Delirious?
Yeah.
It's insane.
What the fuck, dude?
It's insane.
And he was at the time, he was on top of the world. One of the greatest comics.
I mean, he was on SNL. He was on SNL at 18, right? 18, 19?
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, I started doing comedy when he was still a fucking
that
kid.
feels a lot of comedians back then. There were a lot of people that started really young. You're kind of allowed to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people start really young, but a lot of people don't get a fucking hour special 6 years into comedy.
Are you making cue cards? Hey, can you get me a beer, babe? Please.
Damn.
Can I have one too, please, Vicky?
We're all thirsty.
Me too, please.
And you're the only one not mic'd.
Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
Keep gender roles alive,
But
what a dick. What a dick.
But
it's a trap.
I'm kidding.
oh
I'm
yeah,
just
speaking
kidding.
of Murphy too, like I saw some shit like I was totally against Coming to America too,
Oh yeah, they're doing that.
but yeah, I heard
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's like on.
But wait, did they cast someone younger?
No, like Eddie Murphy's gonna be in it.
Just straight up. I don't.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't.
I'll
Wait,
take-
I don't have a
yeah.
bottle opener. I'm such
Yeah,
an
they're
asshole.
doing a number
Please,
2,
bottle
which
opener.
I'm curious about.
I think
wait,
I
But
mean,
how? Wait, I wonder what the premise is going to be. Like, what
Oh
is
wait,
it
I
like?
Yeah,
should,
you're
I
gonna
should
break.
not do that.
I don't know what the
I
premise.
feel it's got to be like Eddie Murphy's son is the
That's
one
what
that
that's
leaves
what
for
everyone
America.
wants it to be, but it's
No,
like
What
just-
else could you
I
do
don't
with
know.
it? Like
you,
what?
You think of a
He gets
fucking
divorced?
story. No, 'cause
Yeah, write a story.
Yeah, like I don't need to do like a younger, like Eddie's passing the torch. Don't do that.
Well, then just do a new story. Then why do
That's
why
what-
do number 2?
because it's a new story. It's a sequel. There's always sequels, Javi.
I know, but like,
You could do a sequel and still be a story. It's been like 30, 40 years since that movie came
How
out.
about Ghostbusters?
Oh God.
yeah, we don't. No,
What you didn't hear? You're not happy about the?
Oh, what happened? No.
they're making a new one.
They're making it like
but within
a
the
legit
universe.
sequel, like
Yeah.
with the original cast, or at
Like,
least what's left of them.
that's in the universe, like in the original original 2.
So
Bill
they're- we're-
Murray,
So we're disregarding. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody but Harold Ramis.
dude.
'Cause
Yeah.
who happens to be dead?
And from what I can gather, from what I understand, is it's kind of like a passing of the baton.
But do you feel? I mean, do you feel that? Like, are you
Dude,
into that?
I've been saying this for fucking years. Like, this is what I'm so tired of these reboots. Like, I want this. Like, especially as a kid when I was like growing up. Like, I was like shit like that. Like, oh, now Batman has a son and he's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
you know
we'll
what I
get
mean?
Batman
like,
Beyond.
like Batman Beyond. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like passes the, he gives him all the responsibilities. You
Yeah.
know, his old job or whatever.
Like that's what I wanted, kind of, out of that Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was saying. That'd be cool. I mean, if they did it right, we'd have an original cast of like funny actors.
Yeah, I mean, because they're at the age where it could have been like, yo, we're retiring, and they could have
Look,
been. Yeah.
and I want to fucking make this clear. The Ghostbusters, this one that came out with all female cast, has nothing to do with them all being female.
No, 'cause
that
I was-
movie just sucked.
I was with it because I like all. I mean, except for Melissa McCarthy, I don't really like her. I say because
I
feel
love
like,
all those.
Well,
chicks.
didn't she use a line in the movie where she's like, "That's gotta leave a mark"? And you're
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
in
just-
every trailer ever.
Yeah, it just
No,
wasn't-
but she, like Melissa McCarthy for me, like she's had some good stuff that I've really liked.
I loved her. in
I
Bridesmaids.
loved her in The Heat and Bridesmaids.
Yeah, no, she was
She's
great in
hilarious
that.
in
But for me,
Bridesmaids.
she's like Kevin James. I don't like Kevin James either. And so to me, she's like a female Kevin James, where the base of her jokes are fatty go boom.
But then she
Yeah,
had.
like
yeah,
fatty
yeah.
fall down.
Did she have a movie recently where she's like she's like a writer and
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I haven't
wanna
seen
see
that.
that one. I heard she's really
Yeah.
good.
So
in
I don't
that.
hate her in everything she's in. It's just I don't like a lot of the stuff she's been in. But
What's that?
yeah, they just failed because with that cast, they should have killed.
Oh,
Kristen
shit, look at-
Wiig.
One of the regulars that comes to the dollar here, Jose. He said he's writing his first set.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I'd say
do
go
it.
for it, man.
Do it.
Handle it.
But in terms of like mythos, like of like recent movies, like I think the Spider-Man movie they did recently,
What, Spider-Verse?
in Spider-Verse, I heard is super.
Yeah, Into the
super
Spider-Verse was
good.
great. Into the Spider-Verse was really great.
So is like the first of like? Do you think that's like the first of a
Oh,
trend
they're
of
de-
like animated?
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely gonna do more. It was a hit. I don't know how much money it made, but I know it did pretty well.
Didn't they make a remake of or they made a animated version of The Killing Joke for Batman?
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
they did.
Yeah,
I never saw it. Was it not good?
Steve hated
No.
it. We saw it together,
No,
but
it
that's-
So I love the comic, but I never saw the
Yeah, I
actual
did too,
thing.
and I was excited. Like we went and we like when I found out they were releasing it and it was rated R and Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill's in.
Yeah,
it,
yeah, it's
I was like,
original.
I'm fucking with it. Like this is gonna
I
be
liked it. And it
amazing.
wasn't
I
good.
liked it. Everyone else fucking hated it.
I just thought the Batgirl
Well,
stuff in the
Not
beginning.
brutal
everything,
enough, or-
everything else was fine, right? Like, because everything else was pretty much accurate to the comic.
Yeah, but it was just that whole beginning.
The
part.
whole prologue.
Yeah, it was just like, dude,
But
That was
no,
weird.
Whatever.
It was
They
just
added
weird.
a prologue where there's like a storyline where like Batgirl. There's like a love story between Batgirl and Batman.
Like,
And a lot of
Why?
it
people.
didn't even have to be a love story. Like he could have just
that's not in the comic though, yeah.
I mean, I think there's a version of it. You
I
know,
mean,
like,
they've toyed around with it, but not in line with.
they've
the Killing
bataranged.
Joke. But yeah,
They've
Batman could have just felt like Batman didn't need to feel bad that she got paralyzed because he was fucking her. Like he could have just felt bad because this woman got paralyzed and
Yeah,
it's
it's
fucking
pretty
Gordon's
fucked
daughter.
That's kind of the. I mean,
That was a pretty fucked
Yeah.
up scene where Joker's like, yeah, the spine is broken. You're like, oh my god.
oh yeah, when he
It's a
shot
good
this
old-
one.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's a
you're
good heel.
right. You're right that they didn't have. But you know what? They did have to establish some sort of relationship at least. You
Yeah.
know. So I mean, that's the easiest way to go.
no, it's just I don't know. I just felt cheap. Like
Come on.
and they just turned her into like this Just like, oh my God, like I wish Batman would call me, and then the fucking gay best friend trope that was like fucking played out in like '99.
Yeah.
They brought it was just like that stuff. It was just like it was just really bad.
Bruh.
But I was like, oh yeah, we were talking about
I don't
Spider-Man.
like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Speaking of gay people, sorry.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse, they'll make sequels. It's Sony. They need the money.
Yeah.
And it was great. I loved it.
It was really good.
It just makes me upset because I just recently watched Solo when we were talking before, and like Lord and Miller were on that and ended up getting fired, and they got Ron Howard, and it was just okay. But for me, like Lord, like I don't know, one of them, Lord or Miller, like I think wrote or directed
It's a trap.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And it was great. And it's just like, just let these guys create things. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, all right, whatever the stories were, they didn't like how fun they were making Solo, but I'm like, these guys know what they're doing. Like, I would love to see more things by them. Just let them fucking create something original. Let them loose. Let them just give them creative control. Like, what, the Lego movie, what, Spicy with a Cloud of Meatballs, whatever that fucking movie
Cloudy
was.
with a Chance
Cloudy
of
with a
Meatballs.
Chance, Spicy. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, you know, Into the Spider-Verse. Like, they do great work. And, you know, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, we went really on a tangent on movies.
Yeah, we did. We
Well,
did.
we love talking about movies.
I know.
Oh, since we're on movies, we might as well just stay on the movie topic. Javi hasn't seen it, but with that fucking the Fyre Festival documentary on Netflix.
Hey, so let's do this. I'll just show you I'm gonna play the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play with my new software here. So
What?
Oh, make it fancy.
I know a little bit about it. It's these guys that ran a festival, but it was like super hyper exclusive, and like they had no money, right?
no, they had money.
Yeah.
No, I thought they had like no money. That's why they gave like crackers with, like they
They had
gave like
money.
Lunchables at the fucking.
They were
festival.
getting money for investors, but they were just kind of like, you got to watch it. They were kind of blowing it. The guy ended up being like fraud. Here, just watch this.
Yeah.
I
hang
just see
on.
girls in bikinis. Hold on.
Oh shit! Wait, I gotta do this thing.
Okay.
But yeah, you need to watch.
Wait,
it.
are you taking down because you're playing something on there?
No.
Playing the YouTube.
Which one should I do? This
We're
one?
not- we're not that
Wait,
popular.
where we at? Where we
No,
at?
no,
This
I'm
one.
just- I'm just saying.
Wait, where am I at? Oh, okay.
You're right
I
there.
got you. Here we are. Uh-oh. Why is it not playing on my shit? Uh-oh.
Just you have girls in bikinis and you're like just taking away from it.
Interesting, guys. This is very interesting.
I smell,
I
smell conspiracies. FBI.
I might have to switch my settings real quick. Everyone's watching my fucking.
Wait, Ryan, are you
my
Russian?
screen
Are you
cap.
Russian? Is that what's happening right now?
I'm Am I Russian? Yeah, I'm Russian to get this fixed. Hey. Let's see. There we go. Okay. What the? No, it's not working at all.
No.
Where are you?
Right.
All right, whatever. Fuck it. Oh shit! You know what? I just fucked everything up. I think right now.
Oh. Wait, are we?
Because I changed the fucking sound settings.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Are we
like
not
the
live
soundboard
anymore?
was working. Like
Oh
everything
wait,
else
we're
was
still
good.
here. We're still good on this. I
Yeah.
think, but yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know why the fucking
It's a trap.
shit's working all right. Weird.
Well, while we're figuring that out.
Anyway,
dude,
what the fucking just switch this back. This fucking dude. Well, anyway, you want to talk about what it was about?
So
Or-
Fyre Festival.
there's two of them, by the way. Did you watch the
no,
one on Hulu?
I haven't watched the one on
I
Hulu.
like the one on Hulu
there's
better.
two of them.
Really?
There's
Yeah.
two of them.
Well, there was two competing things. You know, that usually happens.
And
in
there's
Hollywood.
two more coming out.
Really?
Yeah, there's one from like Vice, and there's another one.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
How many times can you tell the same story though?
I-
Is it that
I'll
unique?
watch them.
it is.
Because you have so many different ways you can.
Well,
you
the
know,
Hulu
talk
one
about it.
they actually interview the dude.
Yeah.
They actually have him on the trying to like, I guess explain himself.
Mhm.
But like the dude, whoever directed it, whoever fucking was interviewing him, like wasn't having any of his bullshit.
Oh yeah.
So,
good.
like,
Good.
yeah,
They
I
kept
need to check
probing
that
him.
out.
So
Which is good.
Oh yeah, so like at some point he was like, "What if I said that's untrue?" He's like, "This is what
Everything.
he's like," and then he goes, "Go ahead and tell me." He goes, "Okay, well you said this was untrue, this was untrue, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And then he like kind of like sits there and he's like, "I'm gonna take a minute, I'm gonna take a break, or whatever."
Oof.
But like he still won't admit he's wrong, like
Yeah.
or that he did anything wrong, right?
So Javi, so basically these guys wanted to start this app called Fyre, where you could go on and book musical acts for whatever you need. You can go on this app, easier way for you to book acts. And so they're like, all right, it had some promise. And like, no, we should have this festival, to really then it would help promote the brand and all this stuff. So they're like, oh, they bought an island in the Bahamas. That was like Pablo Escobar's old island.
Of course.
And like, we're going to have a festival down here, and it's going to be exclusive. It's going to be expensive. It's for top people, And so they brought some models down, shot a promo, and then like everything kind of went to shit from there.
Yeah,
Right.
I realized what I did wrong.
Here
we go.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get pulled if I play this.
I feel like you might, but
I don't know. I don't think there's that many.
I mean, I have been pulled on Facebook for playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be careful about it. Like, I probably wouldn't. But
You can play, but just don't show it.
yeah,
What do you mean? Why not? I got screen cap shit, dude.
Oh, then fucking show it.
Yeah, let's see. What you want? Let's put us in this. There we go. All right. Here we
It's
go.
fair use, right?
All right.
Here we go.
Bahamas, the most insane festival the world has ever seen.
Island getaway turned disaster.
It became very barbaric.
Right now, we are the fucking laughing stock of everything.
I
Just
love.
wait until you see what you're getting yourselves into.
I love Ja Rule's because he's the worst person. Like
He was involved in this.
yeah.
He's an amazing entrepreneur.
He can convince anyone of pretty much anything.
They just bought an island. Pablo Escobar's island. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna throw a festival, yeah. Within 48 hours, they sold out. These guys are either completely full of shit or they're the smartest guys in the room.
Well, obviously full of shit.
We were working
A little bit of
round the
both, I
clock,
think.
No sleep.
I mean,
bring more workers. We need more workers.
Every single day it got more tense.
He just would not take no for an answer, and he just kept pulling money in somehow.
Desperate people do desperate things.
somebody told me too that
And making it seem like we were making a ton of money.
like he's always smiling. They're like number one.
We need to get the
Bad
messaging
news
out
bears.
now
He's
that
smiling.
this is not a luxury music festival.
Apparently that's like a sign that you're either a sociopath.
Oh, absolutely.
There's mattresses all over the place getting soaked. The save yourself mode kicked in. Right, it's a free-for-all.
It became this looting mentality.
There's an angry mob. They're pissed off and they want their money.
Powerful models built this festival, and then one picture of cheese
Look at that
on
thing.
toast ripped down the festival.
They just couldn't
Oh my
physically
God.
fit that many
That was a
people on
legit like
there.
meal that's sandwich with a
Co-founders
slice
Fucking
of
faced
a
cheese.
20 years
cheese
in
sandwich.
If you had thousands of dollars to go on a trip to see
that Ron Funches?
Blink-182,
Yeah.
that's on you. That is Darwinism at its
Biggest event in a decade, I promise you.
I'll be there.
Oh my God. Why?
Yeah, so they promised all this stuff. So
Why?
like it was like $4,000 for like a base like GA
Good
ticket,
God.
and they promised you like a villa like on the beach, and then it turned out they were like intense. And this guy was like basically going to investors, lying about his numbers to get money
That's
to cover
insane.
like the next week of like
How
stuff.
do you deal with that? Good God.
Well, he's in jail now for like 6 years
Oh,
for fraud.
Yeah.
it's not
But
a-
the biggest what the fuck? I mean, I was entertained through the entire thing. Like this shit is like, you would think like a documentary about a failed festival, but for a bunch of like rich kids
No.
would just be like whatever. But like, it's so engaging. But when they got to the part where they told my man like, yo, our water is stuck in customs.
Oh my God.
We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
you-
yeah.
we need
we
you
need you
to-
to go suck a dick.
Yeah. You're gay. Go suck that man's dick. And he was like, I'm down.
that happened?
Yeah, for some
I gotta
fucking
watch this fucking
for
documentary.
a fucking truck of or a
Holy shit.
a container of
But
Evian
you ain't
water.
even gonna
wash your mouth? No, like they call, and he's an older. It's not like some young dude they convince. It's like some older
No.
like
Holy shit.
businessman.
Was not the cream of some young guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, yo, we need you to take one for the team. Like, go meet and suck this dude's
Yeah,
dick so
and
we can
that-
get water for the festival.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
And
God
he was,
damn.
And he was like, I was knocking on that door fully prepared to suck a dick for water.
Yeah, like, yo.
Good God.
How is that not your out at that point, man? Like, you're a
Dude,
successful
I
businessman.
have
like,
it's what I'm saying. So many of these people like stuck with him. So like, okay, so this documentary, the Netflix one,
Yeah.
it's mostly like was mostly like the people that were kind of
Working for it,
working
yeah.
for it, yeah. And I like the Hulu one more because it's a little more. It's poking fun, like very
Yeah.
much, But they also have the actual guy who pulled this fucking scheme, and they don't talk about how his first business was a fucking scam.
Oh, the manganese.
They don't talk
Magnesis.
They don't talk about that on the Netflix documentary, but in Hulu, on the Hulu one, they go more into it and how he got sued for that company for fraud.
Yeah. And then not only that, like he gets arrested for the Fyre Festival, and then immediately
gets out and then
starts another fucking scam company.
Get out of here.
Using the same emails from the people that like tried to go to Fyre Festival.
The email list, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they caught him.
Yo, how fucking stupid. What?
That sounds dumb as fuck.
What? That's like OJ level stupid. Like go sit your fucking dumb ass down somewhere. But you know,
totally.
Dumb people are gonna be, they think they're untouchable.
That's hilarious. I had no idea that.
Oh, watch it. It's so good.
I have to watch it now.
Like I had to pause it. When he was just like, I was fully prepared to go in there and suck a dick.
Yeah.
I had to pause it.
Right.
I had to tweet, like, this fucking documentary is something else. And just, like, collect myself. Like, yo, this is wild. This is wild.
Like, I feel like to collect myself right now.
Like, this was, like,
went through a lot.
a 50-plus-year-old man. Like, 50,
Yeah,
60 years old. It wasn't like some, like, young, like, 20-year-old kid, like, yo, go suck a
Jesus.
dick. And he's like, all right. No, this is a grown-ass man who probably has some grandkids. Oh, no, he was gay. So, maybe. I don't know. I'm not even, whatever.
Who knows?
Adopt, yeah. But... Yo, like, nah, man, like, yo, I think I'm out of here.
It's a trap.
You know what, dog? I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in.
That's a hard pass on.
Yeah, it's been fun, Billy, but I gotta go.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that like, okay, the whole thing was supposed to launch this app. Like that was the whole reason for it. Like it was Ja Rule got involved because he thought this guy had a good idea, which was basically an app where you can hire celebrities to like like it was like
musical apps.
It was like cutting the middleman out of the management out of booking musicians and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's like kind of a cool.
It's kind of a cool idea.
If you have the money to book these people.
Except he lied about all the people that were involved.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
about everything.
everything.
About the money he had.
Yeah.
About the numbers.
All the investments. Like, dude, it was crazy. It's so crazy. And the dude, like, still was like, he'll still stand by what he said, even though, like, the numbers show differently. Like, I mean, like, hundreds of thousands differently.
Sociopath. Like, sociopath.
Crazy. You can see it in his eyes. He's like,
Now I don't feel bad. Like when, like what was that? A couple month or two ago when like 50 Cent was trolling Ja Rule hard.
I don't
Ja Rule deserves it.
Well,
No, because
50
like
Cent
I didn't see
is,
that.
Because 50 Cent and Ja Rule have had beef forever, but I guess
Yeah, I was
Ja
gonna
Rule
say.
had a concert, and so 50 Cent secretly bought like the first like
Oh,
2-3
that's
rows
right, so no
out
one-
of the
so
show,
they'd
so
be
nobody
empty.
was there,
What an
so it'd be
asshole.
empty.
That's right. I do
What
remember
an
that.
asshole. That's really
I
funny.
thought he did it because they were like friends or something.
No, they don't like each other.
Oh fuck, that is hilarious.
So you're
But
gonna
who
do
goes
shit.
to a Ja Rule concert today's age?
Apparently,
Apparently, a lot of people.
It's murder.
It's murder.
Where would I be without you?
Somebody call Ashanti.
Yeah.
Where is Ja? They even reference that in that fucking Hulu doc. Yeah, so there's a lot of like pop culture clips that they like.
Yeah, make fun.
They
of.
make they kind of cut to, and like there's like a Simpsons.
It sounds like Netflix really kind of went to town on him. Then
Well, Netflix went in depth, but
Yeah.
like when they went in depth and like what actually went wrong on the festival and everything, and like everything that happened that made it
'cause
such a disaster.
I haven't seen the Hulu one, but you were sounding like a little more humorous.
Yeah, the Hulu one is a little more like kind of marketed towards like millennials.
Yeah.
You know, so
the one on Netflix, it's more serious. It was never meant to be humorous, but like just some of the shit that they were doing and like saying, you're like, are you,
it's just fucking crazy, dude.
What? Go suck some dick to get that water. Like I tweeted at Evian after that. I'm like, yo, you have to make this man your fucking spokesperson. Water's so good, you'll suck dick for it. Like it's right there. You don't even have to mention it. All you got to do is like have a commercial like on a beach and just like pan down and see his face and have him take a sip. Like everybody would know.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
It's wild.
So have you guys done any actual episodes of your?
we did one.
Yeah,
where
we recorded our first episode last week with Jerry, the head brewer over at Pacific Plate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a good episode. I know our producer, Javi's brother, supposed to be editing it down.
You guys edit?
Well, mostly just like edit like the intro and like the actual
yeah, because
interview
we,
together.
you know, kind of like a Marin thing. Like we record the episode and then we'll do
you
an
do the intro.
We
Gotcha.
just kind of catch up briefly, like our week or like what's going on. And
I do
then
all this shit myself.
Introduce. Yeah,
It's
congratulations.
weird. I'm fucking independent, you know.
Oh yeah,
I'm an independent black woman.
I'm just
I don't need
not
no. I don't need no man.
I don't need no help. I do this shit on my own.
careful before Jordan Peterson creates a YouTube video about how you're a propaganda anti-male. It's important.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Javi?
Oh, fuck both of you.
What are you saying?
So he said something about Jordan Peterson saying we're
You don't need no man. You know, you're saying that. You know, you don't need no man thing. And
Jordan Peterson's that.
He's the guy that came up with like that video that said that Frozen was anti-male propaganda because the whole purpose of Frozen to him was like, oh, you don't need no man to be.
Oh yeah. But that dude, like, I know I'm not. This is gonna be fucking unpopular opinion, but like that dude, I feel like clearly does shit like that on purpose, or says
I feel like he does.
outlandish shit like that because he's a really smart dude.
Yeah.
Like,
he just says
it's just that the problem is to me, he sounds like a Muppet half the time. So like I can't like.
Yeah.
He just says a lot of because that gets the clicks, you know.
Yeah, of course. So
you
he'll
gotta
say some crazy outlandish
you
shit.
trigger the things, and you title your video.
It seems to be
fucking
the
Jordan Peterson fucking destroys fucking
right.
liberal.
Have you had anyone like heckle you like for some of the jokes you make where they're like, hey,
that was a good transition.
hey, it's a question.
Sort of.
It's a question.
what do you mean? Like, I mean, have I been heckled before? Yeah.
Yeah, but like, have you had anyone heckle like someone say that that you're making a racist remark or like a sexist remark and like that?
Oh, yeah.
One time I made a joke. Well, because I have a joke about like the LAPD shooting black people or something. Well, you've heard it. Like the white half keeps from getting shot by LAPD.
Yeah.
And I said that in a black crowd at a black club.
Yeah.
And like, dude, dead silence. And then I had like one guy in the back of the room like, "Yo, good luck with that motherfucker." and
it wasn't Steve. You sure it wasn't Steve in the back?
No,
I would have been quiet. Like, yeah.
No, man, it was like, it was fucking bad. I died a slow death on that show. Yeah. I mean, it was just a bad. Bad matchup. Like I was the only white dude on the lineup. And,
yeah.
Everyone.
So you knew,
See,
you knew going in, like, oh,
I didn't think you were gonna say you got no laughs. I thought you were gonna get like a like kind of like.
I got that too. Yeah.
Like,
or like, these two older black ladies one time in Vegas when I was talking about Satan.
Yeah.
They like, God bless you, and then they got up and walked out.
Yeah.
It's like,
God bless you.
Fuck
okay.
you.
God bless
That line
you.
from Friday.
Oh, that shit was funny. But I mean, nothing. Like I've never gotten anything that malicious. Like, but also, I don't know. I think I might have like a little bit of like thicker skin. When like bad things happen when I'm on stage.
Well, I think the only time I remember where you got heckled by, I think what you're talking about, like someone who's just like very like I'm offended.
Somebody got offended by something I said.
But somebody woke.
That I'm not gonna say her name, but that girl on Facebook.
But that was on Facebook. That wasn't
you
like on
posted
stage.
that fucking Tenacious D.
It was a Tenacious D reference.
Yeah.
Well,
What was it?
I made a joke because it was because like I was talking about like when you go to
the bar shows.
When you go to bar shows and no one wants to, you're kind of forcing comedy upon them. So I did the show where like everyone was sitting at the bar, backs turned, like it was awful, right? And so I put on Facebook after my set, I was like, no one wanted to hear comedy tonight, so we raped their ear pussies.
Which is a Tenacious D thing.
Yeah, it's a quote. Yeah.
And
and so this I don't know, cosplayer, like liberal feminist chick was like, she like never interacted with me before ever, right? And I guess she's got some sort of following, so like she comments on my thing, like she's like, ew, gross, blocked. And then I was like, we've never talked.
But then, like took your like joke and then went.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
and then went and like posted it like and it was
what?
like
Yeah, and then like had a bunch of people just shitting on him.
Yeah. So like a bunch of people started talking shit, and Steve came to my defense.
Yeah, I jumped in there real quick.
Oh, good man.
A couple people did. It was like you and like three other dudes.
Me, like Justin. I remember I saw Vicky in that fucking comment section. Like, yo. Like,
well, because it was like she screen grabbed and put like my name was present on
trying
it,
to ruin
and
your
like
shit.
It's saying that like because she did have a following, so like not that I would want any of those fucking idiots to follow me anyway, but it's like I don't need that out there, these people thinking that I'm a fucking.
Because taking your shit out of context, and it's
you're
a fucking
like,
comedian. You're supposed to be making jokes.
Yeah,
right.
He's like he made a rape joke, but it's okay if I make a rape joke because I'm a woman. And then like some other dumb motherfucker in the comments is like, oh yeah, it's like because blackface used to be okay, but it's not okay anymore.
I was like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm like, where did that come from? I'm like, how did you make that connection?
Yeah, number one, you have an anime character as your avatar, so I know what you really look like. Number two,
I know what your pillow looks like.
Like and then like number two, like that's not the same fucking shit. Like
that's gotta be annoying.
God.
That's got.
Yeah, it was weird. That got weird. But like, I'm trying to think. I got, for the most part, like it's mostly just people shouting shit, and I usually just ignore them or.
Because they just want the attention.
Yeah. So like, I mean, if you don't engage, like when, for the first time, then it kind of. But if somebody actually says something that maybe gets a reaction from other people, then I'll be like, repeat it. Like, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, for the most part, like, I feel like my act usually gets, like, pretty good, at least, like, give and take. I don't condone people shouting it out at my shows, but, like, sometimes when it happens and then I ask, like, oh, what, sometimes it'll be funny. Sometimes it'll be a good, like, kind of back and forth.
Yeah, but you don't really have anything in your act that's, like, offensive.
I mean, there's, like, the thing about, like, religion that I get into, and,
religious people are...
religious people get a little weird about that, but, like, and now, I mean, I know you're not supposed to say retard anymore, and, like,
as you say, retard.
And I have, like, I mean, I've been saying retarded for the past fucking 12 years.
I agree. Like, who cares?
20 years. Like,
this is going to be unpopular, but like, all the things that we used to say and insult each other, like, we can't do anymore. And we've stopped. I think we're good people. Like, I know I have. I stopped calling people fag. And
I still say it.
I still say it. You're a much better person than me.
Well, I was trying to make us all look good.
No.
But never mind.
Here's the thing. Is, like,
I'm pretty sure I've called you that on plenty of occasions.
But you're right, though. Like, I don't do it as much. And I'll do it almost ironically sometimes. You know, like if somebody's like, oh man, it like made me cry, I'm like, what a faggot.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, we don't use it, like, we don't call people gay or call them fag, like, as much as we used to.
Well, you used to be like, oh, that's gay or something like that.
Yeah.
I never said that though. I always thought that was really weird and kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, you're a much better person than me. I said it a lot, but I never thought of it that way. I was just fucking around with my friends.
Fag was like, like Carlin says, a fag is the guy who won't get in the van with you to go beat up the queers.
Yeah. and the other comic who we and the other comic who we can't talk about anymore. It was like, stop being a faggot and suck that dick.
Stop being a faggot. It's like, exactly.
Yeah, but
how it is now, though.
I mean, it's fine. Like, times change and things change. Things aren't acceptable anymore.
I mean, like,
I get it, but I mean,
bitter. The last good heckle I got, well, not good heckle, but like it kind of worked in my favor. Was I have it on tape? This dude, I was trying to do a clean set. Yeah. And then some guy booed me when I said I got engaged.
Oh, in San Diego. Yeah, I remember he showed up after that.
For an engagement
and he booed, and then I was like, and I went, wait, aren't you with your, like, who is this next to you? My wife? I'm like, you piece of shit.
Yeah. That must be a lovely fucking marriage.
I'm like, you let him talk about, I'm like, why would you?
Very
I'm like,
happy.
Jesus Christ. I'm like, look at you. You guys are on a date together, and you just went, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is going to be an awkward car ride, man.
They probably got married at like 18 right out of high school, and they're too scared to just break up.
They went to Vegas.
And that was funny, but, I mean, that happened, and then some dude yelled some shit. I think I called him retarded too, and then he actually happened to be like, he like looked like he was kind of off, and like after the show, and I felt so bad, but he was like super psyched to like meet me after the show and stuff. But it was at the ice house.
See, that's the thing too. Like I said, I get times changing and things not being acceptable anymore. That's just life. That's just how things happen. But like, you can't be offended for somebody else who's not offended by that. You can't say that because you're gonna hurt their feelings, and that person is there. It's just like, bitch, I don't care. Like,
yeah.
You know, I want you to acknowledge me. I don't want you to act like I'm not a person. You know,
it's that weird like white people outrage, like for like especially for like disabled people, and like and the whole the race outrage shit. You know, like we've talked
white people are afraid to say black in front of me.
Well, to be fair, like to jump in, like. I had Steve meet this girl I'm talking to, who happens to be a white girl, and within seconds of meeting him, he called them bitches, and it was hilarious. They didn't expect it, but within seconds,
what'd you say?
I don't remember what we're talking about. Like within seconds of meeting him, he's like, "Oh yeah, bitch, come on," and like,
I know.
I called them bitches, and I look at him like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry that my black friend just called you bitches." And they were totally cool with it though. Like they were totally cool with it.
I know, because I use bitch a lot. It's my favorite word, just like too short.
Yeah, dude. It kind of slips out sometimes. Like when somebody says something stupid, you're like, bitch.
Shut up.
Exactly, and that's what it was. Because we
and the way yeah,
we were already been
Yeah.
drinking by the time, so I was on a good buzz.
Yeah.
And then we were gonna play Uno, and then I thought I heard her say like, "I've never played Uno before," and I was like, "Bitch, what are you talking about? What do you mean you've never played Uno?"
But this was within seconds of meeting these girls.
Yeah,
Like
it was-
a few
she
minutes,
wasn't
and they
there.
were like,
But it was like, who hasn't played Uno? It was just so
Yeah,
ridiculous
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Like, bitch, who hasn't played? What are you talking
That
about?
is so
I
funny.
started laughing and
Bitch,
you know,
what the
they're-
fuck?
But I know. But like after I said it a
But
few
they
more
told
times.
you they told you to keep going. To be fair.
Well, yeah,
so
because
you
I
kept
stopped
going.
and I'm like, look. I said bitch. I'm not calling you bitches. Like I don't refer to
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like yeah, I'm gonna say bitch. Like it's gonna come out.
No, keep saying it. And I was like, all right, perfect.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we're cool with that. I'm like, all right.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Yeah.
You know what we were talking about, like, you know, like we're friends. We're very open about like what, you know, actually what's really happening in the world. But like, you know,
Yeah.
some people get so uncomfortable with like even just the basic conversation about like, you know, like I'll make those jokes. You know, you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
couldn't get in. I'm like, oh, because you're black.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like, and it's just, you know, it's just a funny joke because we're friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's like
because we know each other. We know it's not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything like.
it's not malicious. But it also it's a commentary. It's like, you know, commentary on like shit like
Yeah.
that really does happen, and it's not like
I just don't like when like people I don't know like try to come to me and just talk to me about black stuff.
yeah.
Off the
You're
bat.
like, do I know you?
Yeah, it's
That's
just like,
weird.
It's just like I was talking to my friend Sarah about this the other night. Like, there's been so many times, like, especially when Obama was president, like Black Lives Matter was like a big thing. Like, I'd be at a bar and it's mostly like white, and I'm just hanging out. And
Like in Get Out, he's like, you know, I voted for Obama for the second term.
no,
That was
it's just
such a good
dude,
little-
no. It'd be
That's
like
such a
I
good
would be
movie.
talking to someone, and like within like a minute, they're like, I know it. The process that goes on in their head because I see those wheels spinning. Like you're asking me like who I am, how you doing, like
Yeah.
good time. And I see it spinning. like
they're
here it comes.
You like
something's
Tupac?
Yeah, like they never solved Tupac's murder.
No, something's
That's
coming.
bullshit, man.
And then it comes. This is where I know it's about to be some bullshit. Hey, can I ask you something?
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
oh god,
shit, here we
here
go.
it comes. Here it comes.
Here we go.
Like, did you vote for Obama because like you actually
Christ.
liked him, or was it just because I'm like, you know what? It was nice meeting you. Like, I'm not even gonna
You know
entertain the
what?
question.
That's an awkward conversation no matter what color you
Does
are.
that actually
Yeah.
happen to you though? Like, you
Yes,
have to like tell someone
yes.
like, hey, you know
People,
what?
like,
We're not cool.
I've
right
had
now.
like, you know, because I'm friendly, and so if someone, especially if I'm like drinking them at a bar and like someone's around me and they seem friendly, we're talking, I'm talking, but they think like, oh, he seems cool. He doesn't seem like what I think black people are supposed to be
Yeah.
like.
He's not a scary black man.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe he thinks like me. Like, no, bitch, I don't. And number two, like, no, bitch, I'm not having this conversation with you.
Oh my god.
Like, yo, like some like drunk white dudes are like, and I know some of them
tone deaf sometimes.
yeah, and I know some of them mean well. I know, I have a difference. It's like, is he trying to be racist and just tell me his opinion? Or is he just a goofy white dude who wants a black friend and doesn't know how to do it?
Yeah, that's
You know?
I feel like that's
probably that.
probably it.
Yeah, so
Like,
I could tell
they
by
don't
the
know how to
question.
deal
But
with
whenever
you,
it comes
like,
to
oh.
like,
As a straight white man, I was very excited that we became friends.
you're like, I met my quota. Awesome.
but it's fucking, it gets like, 'cause I told you that one time I was in the bar in like Chino.
Yeah.
And I walked and I go to the urinal and I passed some white dude who was like leaving to go wash his hands, and I'm pissing, and it's just me and him in there, and he's just like, hey man, I don't mean to talk to you with your dick out. I'm just like,
Is it true? Is it true what they say
no,
about you
and I'm
people
like,
being gifted? Is
and I
that
was
what
just
they
like,
ask?
Yeah.
okay, like what's up? He's like, you're
Cool, saying what's up.
you're like the only black guy in this bar.
Oh my god.
And so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, all right, where am I gonna have to fight this dude with my dick out? Like, what's about to happen?
Yeah. What,
What's about? Where's this gonna go? And I was just like, yeah, what's up?
like you didn't know that.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's pretty cool. And then just walked out.
Fuck.
And he's just like, oh god.
That's so
All right.
awkward. How
That
did you
is
deal
so
with that?
weird.
Did you like leave? Like, hey, you know what? I'm
That's
just gonna
pretty
go ahead and
cool.
get out of
I
here.
have weird shit like that happen, and so I'm just like, oh god. All
Well,
right.
because you hang out where white people are. Like you hang out with white chicks and stuff.
Hey, you're in
Yeah.
Chino.
And you,
Well, yeah.
you're
I
in
mean, not
Chino.
always,
You know what I
but-
mean?
But
Like
I mean, like the whole like San Gabriel Valley. It's mostly
it's mostly
It can't
Hispanics.
be. It can't be.
Hispanics are white, you know.
Yeah.
And
No,
so,
San Gabriel Valley, it's mostly Chinese.
but yeah, no, like I've had
Well,
so many
now.
people trying to have.
But if you're going out, you know, it's mostly Hispanics out dancing.
Oh yeah, I try to avoid those places. I don't really like that Mexican music that much. I'm not racist. It's just like that.
I can't stand it. I
Like,
can't
yeah.
stand it, dude.
It just reminds you of working mostly.
I can't stand it. You remember we tried to do a podcast and your dad was bumping that shit?
Oh my god! And he came in and like, mijo. I'm like, Dad,
All drunk, couldn't figure out the
we're
TV.
trying, we're trying to do a podcast right now.
It's
Dad.
hilarious.
Oh, okay. I'll wait till you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Or it's like little things, like I get in an Uber and they switch it to hip hop. It's like, no, I like the 1975 too. You can put that back on. Just like, but like things like that, like I don't mind. But
I kind of wish people would do that for me. Like if they knew, like if they changed the genre of music when I got in the fucking Uber.
If you walked into an Uber and they played Selena, you'd be like, all right, thank you, sir.
No, well, I don't know. Like I guess I don't have like a cultural. I mean, I'm very ambiguous.
Yeah.
So if I got into a car, no
They
one would
just don't
fucking-
know,
They're
like-
like, fuck, what do I play?
Well, I know for me, if I walked into an Uber and they were playing, like, if it's Fernandez or something like Ranchero, I'd be like, all right, I'm into this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hate getting into Ubers and them playing their own shit, and it's like, whew, can we put at least the radio on, buddy? Like, holy fuck.
Look, I don't mind if they play their own stuff as long as they don't try to force a conversation with me. I just want to sit in the back and be on my phone.
See, the problem with me is I always end up being like the one guy that's sober enough to talk to the Uber driver. So
I
I'm
always
talking
talk to the Uber driver.
Yeah, because everyone else ends up being like passed out, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? How's your night going?
I always talk, but like, okay, you know, but I'm not tone deaf to like if they don't want to talk, then I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes, man, like.
Yeah, I'm hungover. It's 8 in the morning. I've been raging all night.
Man, this lady one time took me. I was so fucking hungover, and I took a lift to work. And I was just gonna sleep. I wanted to sleep in the back, and this lady kept fucking talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I've fucking been driving for like. And I was like, oh my god, dude. She wasn't black. I don't know why I made that voice.
Oh, I didn't think that was a black voice. But yeah, no, I hate that because like when I did Lyft, I never talked to people unless they
brought it up to you,
engaged in conversation, and I base like how engaged I would be in the conversation based off their first question.
Mm-hmm.
If their question, how long you been driving Lyft?
That's a terrible question.
What if the first one was like, how's your day going? Like,
how's your day? That's fine.
That's usually how I start. I'm like, what's up? You just starting today, or you know,
Yeah,
where we at?
That's fine. But when it's just like, oh, you been driving Uber? It's like, all right, you basic motherfucker.
This
like,
dude picked me up in his fucking sweet ass Lexus the other day. It was like, dude, it's like with some red leather interior. I was like, this is a dope ass car, dude. He's like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, I just do this shit on the weekends.
He was so happy holding that. He's
oh
like,
yeah,
fuck yeah.
I was like, I love these fucking cars because like what is it? The fucking
with the I.
So you do Uber X, right?
i350 or something like that.
Yeah.
What?
Do you always do Uber X? Is that like your jam?
Yeah,
No, it's just a nice car.
Huh.
Dude, I do Uber, just regular Uber.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do Lyft, or I do Lyft Line or whatever, Lyft.
Yeah.
Share.
The share ride thing. Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I strictly do black car, dude.
I'm balling. I always like the people who I pick up and they would offer me like alcohol. I'm like, bro, I'm your driver, but yeah.
Yeah,
if you're cool with it.
I got offered. Some guy gave me coke one time.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I always go back to the time that you and I, Steve, were going, like we were leaving the.
The beer fest where the dude almost crashed.
The dude hit the fucking hit a curb, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
he was there with you. He was there with you.
Yeah, he turned the corner and like turned too soon, I guess.
We were talking about the Aziz Ansari whole debacle going on at the time.
I think we were distracted.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I think there was a lot of like, I can't believe she just sucked his dick. We just kept talking.
It was a bad thing.
I know.
He's a what?
All
dick?
It was.
Yeah. He's all sucked his dick.
And and I all of a sudden just douche.
Yeah, he hit it hard, and they had to get out and check it. And we're just like,
and me and Steve were like, so should we like get out of the car?
Yeah, we leave.
No, we're fine. And then it just drove us back.
It's so funny. Maybe he got so offended with what you guys were talking about, like
probably. Like most of the time,
anything like a super offensive.
No, but most of the time,
but when
like,
you're just talking and like, some people like are super conservative. Dude, this lady got out of the elevator because I said fucking, and like at work the other day. I swear to God, I was like. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get over this fucking cold. Yeah. And she was like, ooh, F word or whatever, and she got out of the elevator.
That's weird. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty conservative when I'm around people I don't know. When I'm at work, I'm usually more. I'm very more reserved.
At work, at an office, and somebody asked me how I'm doing. I'm trying to get over this fucking cold.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous. Like you're an adult lady.
Yeah,
you can
Chill,
hear fucking.
You fucking weirdo.
Yeah. But
and yeah, there's two other dudes in the elevator, and they were just like, "What the fuck was that about?"
Yeah. Did somebody fart?
Yeah,
my nose is clogged from last
night. So weird. All right, guys, you want to wrap this up? Any last words?
Our last words are:
listen to our podcast. Our unnamed podcast that we haven't.
Untitled at the moment.
It's untitled at the moment.
It was supposed to be Minority Report, but it was stolen by
other minorities.
By Tom Cruise.
Them.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, that shifty little bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check us out.
I think it was a coalition between Tom Cruise and like Nick Cage. I think they both.
Fucking Nick Cage was just like
I was trying.
Gotta still the Declaration of Independence.
I was trying to lead you into that. I thought you were ready for it.
You know what? You know what Nick Cage. You know he. I heard that he really doesn't like that fucking Spanish music.
What? Wait, what? What's
yeah,
that?
he told me he was like.
Mexico!
Oh. Yeah, he didn't have a good time because he went to Mexico. Because the problem is, like, Nick Cage went to Mexico to like get hair plugs on the cheek.
Yeah.
You know, because he has tax problems. He doesn't have a lot of
Oh
money.
no, I froze it.
Oh,
I've seen that guy at Disneyland multiple times, and he always wore like a crazy wig and like always try to wear some crazy costume.
did
Like,
something fucked
motherfucker, you're
up.
still
All right.
Nick Cage.
Damn it! I had one more drop I wanted to fucking play for you guys, but it's all good. We'll stop it there.
But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have our podcast. I mean, you're gonna be on it, and so
Yeah, I am.
hopefully we'll have a name by then
Yeah.
that we can like throw on there. But yeah, that's it for now. We'll have some social media. We don't even fucking. God damn it. We need to get a fucking social media page about our podcast, and then
Yeah, you do.
But we have a lot of interesting interviews.
So this is
coming
what
up.
we're gonna do right now. We're gonna get fucked up. We're gonna come up with a title with your for your
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
Yes,
we're gonna do it
tonight.
It's gonna be awesome.
Look at. I really like. Look at. This is. I'm so fucking happy with this right now. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. All right. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and whatnot. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan P. Demarest. Do you want to get some? You want to get some shout outs?
I mean, if you want to follow me on Twitter, my name is at Steve X Rogers. You can follow me there.
What about Instagram? What's your gimmick on Instagram?
No, Twitter.
Right. And, Instagram, I'm Javi Brews, and Twitter that Beaner.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
He's 100% serious.
Don't feel worried about
that is
tweeting at me.
offensive. All right, guys. Here we go. We're gonna stop the live stream right.
Thank you guys. Cheers.